everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So today we're looking at your career. We're looking at what the people that you work with think about you, what they think about you at work. But specifically, we're looking at your boss, or if you work for yourself, your clients, your customers, whoever is in some way in charge of you or responsible, has some say in your growth or success. So we're going to look at what they think of you. So I've got 3 readings. These cards came from the reading. I generally record the intro after I've done the readings. So you can take a look at the cards and see which one feels like it's meant for you. Right? So group 1, your card is the 10 of Pentacles. And I'll just hold that there for a sec so you can get a good look. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Group 2, your card is the World. The World. And group 3, your card is the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles. All right, so all you have to do now is select what group you feel is right for you. Go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for that group, and it'll take you straight to your reading, and we'll see you there. Thanks, y'all. Hi, group 1. All right, so today we're looking at, what they think of you at work. Now, this is specifically looking at what your boss thinks of you, or if you work for yourself, what your clients think of you. There's always things that people don't say. And obviously, I'm not going to give away secrets that are harmful or personal or private. But I do think it helps to understand how people see you, how people look at you in the workplace. So let's jump right in, get some cards down, and we'll see what they think of you at work. All right, the first card is the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Swords. We have 3 of Cups, the Empress, and the Lovers. All right. All right, give me just a sec. Let me take these in, and I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk through these cards and see what they have to say. So hold on one second, y'all. Okay, first thing they're saying is that you are doing a good job, and it's well recognized by those who are either, like I said, your clients or are your employers, so your boss. Anyone who is in charge of your growth and your success in some way. They're telling me, first of all, that for you have this need to be perfect, and you think that's what they want as well, or that's what they expect as well, is perfection. No mistakes, no flaws, no foibles, no wobbles. Being perfect is great, they're saying, but it's not realistic, and in some ways it is holding you back from performing as well as you could, to be honest. This feeling that you need to be perfect, that everything needs to be just right, with no mistakes, really is keeping you from doing more. It's keeping you from being more productive. And it's keeping you from getting the experience and um, they're saying the notches on your belt that come with mistakes. In other words, there's a lot of learning that happens when you do make mistakes. And Spirit is encouraging you to not shy away from that, to do the work, do the best you can. Yes. Try as hard as you can. Yes. Try to be, as accurate as possible in whatever it is you do. But they're saying, but don't overthink it. Don't over rotate on that because it's stopping you from moving forward, actually. Interesting. So that's Spirit's take on it a little bit, but also it is a perspective of, well, they're telling me it's actually a perspective of your higher self. Your higher self knows this. So that probably sounds, sometimes we hear something and it just sounds right. A lot of times that's coming from your higher self, or your higher self recognizes it. All right, so let's talk about the cards. The first card is the 10 of Pentacles. Hopefully you can see that. Let me see what they want to say about this card. They're telling me, okay, your boss or your client, I'll probably just keep saying boss, but know that if you work for yourself, it's probably more likely your client. But anyone who has some say in the forward progress of your career, that's who we're talking about. Hold on one second. They see a lot of potential with you, a lot of opportunity with you. They do feel you could be doing more because they do see this potential. But again, that comes back a little bit to the productivity question that that Spirit brought up earlier. It is doing more is sometimes, it's a fine line, but it's sometimes more important than getting it 1,000% right. And you do have to walk that line because obviously you don't want to be someone who rushes through and doesn't pay attention to details and doesn't care about accuracy. But you also don't want to go too far on the other side with perfection. So your boss sees you as someone with a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity for growth. They see you as someone who will be successful in whatever you do, whether you work for them or not. They see you as someone who can take on anything, that you make it your own, and you do it successfully. And you do it with pleasure, really. So you must enjoy your job in some way, or your boss assumes you do. Now, the advice from Spirit on this is the 3 of Cups. And Spirit's just encouraging you, again, going back to that productivity, maybe getting more done, being less worried about being perfect. They're encouraging you to have a little more fun with it. Have a little more fun with your work. Try being a little more playful, at least in your thought process. Obviously, everybody's job here is a little bit different. So it isn't a one size fits all. But if you can be more playful, even in your thoughts, in the way you look at what you do, in the way you present what you do, first of all, you'll have more fun with it. It will help you lighten up a little bit and release some of those inner expectations that you have. You'll also enjoy it more. You'll enjoy it more. Let me see if there's anything else they want to say about that. No. They do see that if you work with other people, they're acknowledging that at least your boss, sees you getting along well with others in the workplace, that you have a nice way about you, a nice personality at work. They see you making friendships, having a good rapport with other people. No, they're not giving me any challenges there. So if you know of some challenges, interpersonal challenges at work, your boss really doesn't see it. So, take that as it resonates, and let's see if there's any advice there with that. The Spirit's really, they're just saying, just go with it. Just go with it. Interpersonal challenges, if you do have some, will work themselves out. your boss isn't aware of them. Or if they are, they don't think it's a problem, or they don't think that you are the problem. Okay? All right. The next card is the Eight of Pentacles. And what I'm getting immediately is that you're a hard worker. You work on your craft. I say craft because these are witch cards. You work on your craft. You're trying to learn more, and they recognize that. You keep up a steady pace of work. Again, there's this feeling that, yes, you could do more. You could do more if you would just release some of the pressure you're putting on yourself. But your boss does see that you do get a lot done, that you're willing to learn, that you're a fast learner, that you're willing to try different things, which is good, which is great. See if there's anything else. And that you can take on a lot, that you do take on a lot, whether it's a lot of different projects or big projects or whatever it may be. You recognize as someone who takes on a lot of work. And I know that sounds a little bit counterintuitive when we're talking about also needing to be more productive. But what Spirit's saying is you can take on a lot of projects, and which is great, and your boss recognizes that, but or a lot of responsibilities, however it may land for you. But if your focus is on being perfect, you're still not getting those things done as quickly or as efficiently as you could. Okay. So the advice from Spirit with this is the Empress card. They're encouraging your creativity. Yes, you're taking on different things. You're a fast learner, and your boss knows this. And it's another message of being playful, allowing your creativity to come up out of the ground. It's really a message of like fertility and growth and playfulness. That really is where your abundance lies. That's where your growth lies, is in this playfulness, this willingness to try different things, to go in different directions, just kind of test the waters, to be a little bit more playful. And I'm getting that you are. So this isn't a criticism of, oh, you need to be more playful, you're too strict with yourself. You are very strict with yourself, and you are very hard on yourself. And you do tend to be a perfectionist, but you also have that playful, creative, desire to try different things. You have that in you. Spirit's just encouraging you to do more of that, and to recognize that side of you and see how it feels. Because they're saying, really, if you pay attention, you'll see how much you enjoy trying different things, trying to do things a little bit more creatively, doing things with a little bit more of an open mind and a playful attitude. When you do those things, you really, really enjoy your work. So they're just encouraging you to pay attention to that and to do as much of that as you can. As much of that as makes sense for you in your role. All right. So then we have the Knight of Swords. What Spirit's saying is that your boss sees you as somebody that has a lot of integrity. You tell the truth. You tell the truth. Sometimes your truth can be a little bit harsh. Sometimes it's not always what they would like you to say in certain situations. In other words, you might be a little bit blunt. You might need to, I'm getting that they sometimes wish you would just be maybe a little more thoughtful with your words when others are in the room or are around, or even speaking to them. But they do appreciate your integrity and your honesty. Your honesty. Just, what I'm getting is that your boss kind of wishes that sometimes you would think through your thoughts before you say the words. Sometimes. But they also see you as someone who is ambitious, that you're a go-getter, that you go after what you want. You pursue your career goals. What were you saying now? Oh, you pursue your career goals really with your heart. And I know the swords card is not really about your heart, it's about your head, but it's about fast movement, and it's about moving forward with guts and with ambition and integrity. And you do all of that, but it still somehow comes from your heart. It still comes from your heart. And your boss does recognize that, that you're ambitious and you're goal oriented, and that you are aware. They see that you are aware of your own foibles, of your own mistakes. And again, I'm getting, they want you to worry less about that and focus a little bit more on the bigger picture. A little bit more on the bigger picture. Believe it or not, I know most bosses, want you'd think anyway, want you to focus on the details, be perfect, get it right. But hopefully this resonates with you, that your boss, yes, appreciates your attention to detail, appreciates your desire to get it right. That's that integrity in you. But also, if you would just loosen the reins a little bit, your work would go faster. It would go faster. It would speed up, and you'd find yourself getting more done. All right. So the advice from Spirit on that is the Lover's card. And what Spirit's saying in general, they're saying keep up what you're doing, in general, because you're doing good work. You are being playful, you are trying new things, you are taking on new responsibilities and new roles and new projects. So stay committed to your dreams and your goals and your ambitions. Continue to be true to yourself. They're not going to go back to allow yourself to release a little bit, because they've said that a lot. But with the Lover's card, one sec. It's a message of courage. Have courage. And you do have courage. But continue to build your courage up. And it will help you release some of that perfectionism. It will help you release some of that. And stay committed to your goals. Again, keep doing what you're doing. Just, again, Spirit's just saying, just lighten it up a little bit. Lighten it up a little bit. Release some of the burdens you're putting on yourself and the expectations. And really just try to do more. Just try to do more, while having fun with it. I know that's a big order there, but anyway, group one, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you kind of the direction you need. You're on the right path. You're doing great things. It really is just little tweaks here and there, to help you get further and move forward. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. The reading resonated. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It's free, y'all, but it really, really helps me, as do your comments. And I love reading your comments. So thank you for that. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, y'all. Hey, group two. All right, today we're going to look at what they think of you at work. Specifically, we're looking at what your boss thinks of you, or if you work for yourself, it's your clients. And really what we're looking at is, anyone who is responsible for you or for your growth or your success, anyone above you, or, if it's a client or something like that, someone who, obviously clients, customers are important, to your growth and success. So whichever relationship makes the most sense for you, and what you specifically do. All right, let's get some cards down. See what we can find out. All right, your first card is the World. Then we have the Chariot and the Seven of Wands. We have the Knight of Wands and the Devil. And one more. And we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, give me just a second. Let me take these cards in, and I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk through these and see what's going on here. Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, the first thing they're telling me is that your boss actually thinks or believes that you're ready for like a new chapter in your career. Let me get a better understanding of why. They're telling me that they recognize that you've outgrown your role a little bit. You've been there, you've been doing the work. I don't know how long. Obviously, everybody will be different. But what I'm getting is that you have exceeded the experience level for where you are, for the role that you're in. And your boss is actually taking that into consideration, or your clients. You know, your clients may be saying, what I'm getting is that something may be getting a little bit stale, either for you or for your clients or customers. And that there is this recognition or this desire for a move, for a change, for a leveling up in some way. And obviously it's different compared to, you know, if you work for yourself or you work for someone else. But what I'm getting from Spirit is that the change is there. And you are ready for it. Your boss recognizes it. Something inside of you recognizes it. It's like you just need that nudge to be told it's time to do it now, you know, or to go after it or to pursue it. Okay. So let's start with the first card. And your first card is the World. And again, this comes down to your boss seeing you as someone who has in some way completed a cycle or reached, how do you want me to put that? Like reached a point of closure. You've done the work up to now that you've needed to do. You've done well. There's something in you, and your boss recognizes it, or your clients recognize it, that there's something in you that is feeling a little bit stale. So take this as it resonates, but there's this feeling of you at least coming across as being maybe a little bit bored with what you do, or your boss just knows that you are probably bored. I don't think you act bored. No, in fact, Spirit's actually saying you actually act very enthusiastic. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's that the job really has gotten a bit stale for you. And that's the truth. Something in your work has gotten a bit stale. And your boss sees that. They see that. And they actually want you to be able to try something new, to go forward in some way, to kind of give things a new, they just showed me jumper cables and a battery. That's interesting. New boost. Like you need a jump start. You need a boost in your career to kind of get you moving forward again, because you've reached a point where it's almost like you could do this work in your sleep and time for more. That's at least how your boss feels. Or it's time for you to do something different. And it may be if you work for yourself, your clients or customers are wanting something different because they're feeling that things have gotten a bit stale. So you'll have to kind of, that's a tricky line between when you work for yourself or someone else, but take that as it resonates. So the advice on that from Spirit is the Knight of Wands. And what they're telling me is that there's a need for you to really focus on your passions. What lights you up? What gets you up in the morning? What gets you going at work? And right now, it may be just, you know, something that is a little piece of your day. You know, it's a little piece of your job, but you really, really like it. You really enjoy doing it. And if you really took some time to step back and contemplate it, you would recognize that there's part of you that wants to do more of that or wants to expand on that. And your boss is wanting expansion from you, you know, more from you, but not more of the same, more of what lights you up, what drives you forward. So Spirit's just encouraging you to learn where your passions are if you don't already know, and see where that can take you. And maybe it's a conversation that you have with your boss where you say, you know, I've been doing this job. I hope you think I'm doing a good job, because they do think you're doing a good job. But this is something I'd really like to do more of. You know, this is the direction I would really like to take my career, because there is this feeling of they want to help you. They see it in you that for some of you, what they see in you is that either they help you move forward in the direction you want to go, or they're a little bit worried they may lose you to someone else who can offer you what you really need, you know, to keep you inspired and motivated. So you can't control what they do. They are recognizing that need, but I am getting, if that is the situation for you, have a talk with your boss, see what comes of it. If you work for yourself, I'm also getting maybe reach out to your customers, your clients, survey them, ask them questions, find out what they like, what they don't like. But more importantly, Spirit's saying do a gut check and follow your passion. Do what sets you on fire, right? What lights your fire. And as you move forward with that, the customers or the clients that you need will follow you. You know, the people who will be drawn to what you want to do will find you. So more importantly is to do that gut check in yourself than what anyone else thinks you should do. But it never hurts to ask your customers what they want, what they think, because you may find some nuggets of inspiration there. You know, they may give you an idea that you haven't thought of that really does excite you, that does, you know, get your creative juices going. So consider that. All right. So then we have the Chariot card. And the first thing that they just dropped in with me is and it goes back to what we were just saying, a message about you know, they may be worried that you want to leave, that you want to do something else. They're seeing a little bit of a lack of enthusiasm or a lack of growth. Growth really is the word I'm getting with you. And that's not your fault. It's just a product of what your position or the company you work for or your role. And they do want to help you. They believe, now this may be true or not, but this is their perspective. They believe that you may be looking to do something else or go somewhere else. That you're considering other options, and what I'm getting is they do want to keep you. Now everybody's situation is different, so whether they can or not and keep you happy, that will vary person to person. So I'm not going into that in this reading. It's really just focusing on what they think about you. And I can tell you that they recognize something in you. They're recognizing that you are possibly either looking at different directions or they almost feel like you could be or should be, even if you're not, but that they want to keep you on board. They want to help you. They want to support you. And that goes for your customers and clients as well. You may be thinking, I really want to move in a different direction. I want to try something different, but I'm afraid I'll lose my customers if I do. Trust your gut, trust your inspiration, trust that fire in you, because your customers not only want you to succeed, they really want to follow you. They want to see what you're going to do next. So the advice from Spirit on that is the Devil card, and it's a message of don't be afraid. Don't let fear hold you back, because what it does is it puts that fire out. It keeps you from trying new things. It keeps you from moving forward, because there's always that fear, well, what if it doesn't work? What if I lose my customers? What if my boss says, no, I'm not going to help you move in that direction? What if I can't find a different job and then I've planted that seed with my boss? All these fears can start rambling around and bouncing around in your brain like bouncy balls. Spirit's just saying, take a deep breath, recognize these are just fears. The time has come for you to make some changes. Accept that that is right. Know in your gut that that is right. And when the time is right for something, there's a part of you that knows it, and the universe knows it. And that's when the universe supports you in those changes. So your spirit guides are not going to let you fall. They're going to help you. Doesn't mean that, you won't have, growing pains as you make changes. That's part of the process. But you are being supported in making a change. So don't let your fears take over. It's just fear. It's just fear. And they're wanting me to show you this card. So yes, you have the Devil, and the Devil is kind of teasing you with all of these, really, in your case, worries and negative thoughts. And in the background is a smoking volcano. Or is it? Right? There's that fear, oh gosh, the volcano is going to explode and everything's going to be destroyed. Right? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a bonfire at the top of the mountain. And when you get up there, you're going to find there's a party up there, right? There's people who adore you, people who want to be your partner, your friend, your coworker, your boss, whatever it may be, your customers. But you have to get up and climb that mountain and make that change to see what that view is all about. And Spirit's saying, trust them. It's not a volcano. You're meant to climb that mountain and make these changes, because it will make a big difference in your life. It will. All right. So the next card is the Seven of Wands. Let me see what they want to say about that. Hold on. Again, they're giving me this message of your boss. Your boss may even think that you're fielding other offers. That's what I just heard. So you may be, or they're just worried that you are. They sense in you a little bit of a struggle to stay at the top of your game. And that happens really when we've outgrown a role, right? You work really hard to get to a certain point in your career and to be really good at what you do. And once you get there, you're there for a while, and then you're itching for something more. You're itching for more. Staying in the same spot just ends up bringing distractions. It ends up having you defend your role, right? When really what you're meant to do is move on to something bigger, better, different, more inspiring, more motivating for you. It doesn't mean you have to quit your job. It doesn't mean you have to change your career, but there is something about what you do that you can tweak, that you can hone in on, that you can zone in on, that will make your job and what you do more fulfilling. And in the process, or eventually, more successful as well. When we're feeling more fulfilled and we're stretched a little bit and we're motivated, that's when things take off. not when we're at the top of our game and we're doing the same thing over and over and over, right? Okay, so the advice from Spirit here is the 10 of Wands. And again, they're giving me this message of climb the mountain. Climb the mountain. You know, here you've got the mountain in the background and the devil trying to talk you out of it. This card, you're on your way up. You're taking what you know, you're taking what you love, you know, the cat on the back, you're taking what you love and you're moving up that mountain. And yes, it is work to make changes, to do something new, because there's growing pains, there's learning curves, but it's fulfilling and it inspires you and it stretches you and it challenges you and it gives you that mental exercise is what they're giving me, mental exercise that you need to strengthen yourself for the next level. So you're building up your muscles as you climb this mountain. And when you get to the top, you will be stronger, smarter, more clever, whatever it may be in what you want to do. But you'll also be more successful. You'll be in a higher place than you were before. So trust that. Trust that. All right, group 2, that's what I've got for you. I hope that helps. I hope it gives you the nudge that you need, because it does sound like you need a bit of a nudge to move forward. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If the reading resonated, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It's free for you, but it super duper helps me and helps the channel and my reading get out to more people so that they can get the messages they're meant to hear as well. So you're not just helping me, you're helping others as well. So thank you for that, and thank you for your comments. I'm grateful for you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, group 3. All right, today we are looking at what they think of you at work. Specifically, we're looking at your boss, or if you work for yourself, it's your customers, your clients. So whoever has some say in your success at work, outside of yourself, of course. All right, let's get some cards down and see what you need to know. Your first card is the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Then we have the Moon, the King of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. All right, give me just a second. Let me take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages from Spirit for you, and then we'll talk through these cards one at a time. So hold on one sec. The first thing they're telling me is that this is a message for you from Spirit about releasing expectations for where your career should go, or what an opportunity looks like. You know, if you work for yourself, you know, maybe you're setting certain expectations for yourself. Really, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone else, you know, we always tend to have expectations for where is this going to take me? Where is it going to go? And Spirit's encouraging you to release some of that, because they're telling me that there's some surprises in store, number one, that you're not anticipating. Some possible direction changes, some shifts, all positive. So don't think, you know, this is about losing your job or anything. It absolutely is not. We're talking about shifts within you, within what you do, but more importantly, shifts in what you think you want out of your role, or what you think you want to get out of your role, where you think you might have in your head, this is where I'm headed. And part of you might be okay with that. Part of you might not be. Part of you might think, oh, gosh, I wish that excited me more. That's what I'm getting. But Spirit's saying there is something exciting in store for you that you are not anticipating. So they're asking you to just release some of those expectations, some of those prejudgments that you may have. Whether it's, well, the next step in my career would be this, maybe that doesn't excite you. Maybe that doesn't interest you as much, but you do want to move ahead. Or maybe you think, if you work for yourself, that the natural progression of what you do is, going to a certain place. And there's something about that that doesn't feel very exciting. Even though you want to get there, right? We all want to move forward. We want to get ahead. We want to be successful. There's a nugget of, boy, that's not exactly what I want. And maybe you don't know what you want, because I am getting that there's something coming, whether it's a realization or an opportunity or a direction change that will get your attention and get you excited again. So interesting. Okay, so the first card we have is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, let me just hold on one sec. What I'm getting is that your boss sees you as clinging to your role a little bit. Like you're working really hard to maintain what you've got, or to maintain the level of work you're doing. Maybe they're, what I'm getting is that they may be trying to get you to change directions a little bit, to try new things. Maybe the company is going in a slightly different direction, or the department, or there's just a need for something slightly different. And they're trying to get you to bend a little bit, and you're not quite bending. Now that might not be for everyone, so let me see what Spirit wants to say. But okay, so what Spirit's saying is, what they're seeing is this, and this would be for your customers, your clients, as well as your boss, is that a little bit you're hanging on to the way it used to be done a little bit too much. It really feels like it's not quite flexible enough. Maybe there's new technology that they wish you would learn. I'm not going to say you need to learn, but that they wish you would learn, or new responsibilities that you could take on. But what I'm getting is that you're working really hard, yes, but you're working really hard to maintain the status quo, when really what they want is growth and movement. And you may be thinking, I can't do any more than I'm doing, right? I can't do any more. I'm exhausted. For some of you, maybe you can do more and you just don't feel like it. I've been there. So, but your boss sees that a little bit. So the advice from Spirit for you on that is the Moon card. Okay, what they're telling me is that the changes that you either see coming or sense are coming, or maybe have been told are coming, these changes in what you do, are not as scary as you think they're going to be. There's a worry here that whether it's new technology or a new process or a new way of doing the job, new responsibilities, there's this worry that it's going to be either too much, that you can't take it on, you don't have the bandwidth, you're not going to learn it fast enough, it's going to be too hard. And just like in this card, if you notice, the cat is along the water. They look in the water and they see a panther, right? Is it a panther, right? Probably not. No, it's their reflection. It's their reflection. So what's happening is their fears are being reflected to the boss. The boss is seeing your fears. They're seeing your fears. They're recognizing that there's something that you're holding back on. And Spirit's advice to you is to ignore that reflection. Ignore your fears. Take what's coming towards you with kind of an open mind and an open heart, because what they're giving me is that you will surprise yourself with, number one, how well you do with it, and how much you actually end up liking it. And that, you may hear that and go, no way, I'm not going to like it, I can't do it, whatever it may be. Whatever your hesitation is, Spirit is saying you're going to surprise yourself once you try. Once you give it a full go. Not to say you haven't tried, whatever it may be, but you haven't given it your 100%. You haven't given it your full self yet. And you're being encouraged to try and to ignore the fears, because your fears are much bigger than reality. It will be so much easier and you will like it so much more than you think right now. All right. So then we have the Three of Swords. Let me see what Spirit wants to say about that. Again, your boss is recognizing some of this fear in you. They don't quite understand, at least for some of you, your boss doesn't quite understand what you're afraid of. Maybe they already know this is an easy thing to do or a pleasurable thing, or that you would be good at it. Maybe they know you well enough to know that you're going to do great. Like, what are you afraid of? That's what I'm getting, is that your boss is like in their head going, what are they afraid of? Why are they resisting this? Why are they putting holes in this? That's an interesting way to put it. Putting holes in the idea. In other words, there's something that has come to you, and if you work for yourself, it may just be an idea that has come to you, and part of you knows it's really the direction you should go, but your fears are poking holes in it, much like these swords are poking holes in the heart box there, the box of candies. Box of candies full of yummy, delicious, sweet, wonderful things, and you're stabbing holes in it. And the Spirit's kind of giving the same thing, is that your boss is looking at you going, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. You would be so good at this. Or your higher self even may be saying that. But if you work for yourself, or your customers may be wishing you would do this, and why won't they do that? Why won't they do this? It's fear. It's fear. But your boss is recognizing that fear. They might be a little bit confused as to why that fear is there. They don't understand where the pain point is here. But they do see it. They are trying to figure you out a little bit. So the advice from Spirit is the King of Cups. First thing they're saying is relax. Relax. This is all a good thing. Enjoy this change, and don't let it shake you up so much. Don't let it jostle you around, mentally or emotionally, because it does feel like it's causing you some stress even to think about it sometimes. Allow yourself to enjoy what you do again, and that may mean stepping into something new, stepping into something fresh. Hold on one sec. Yeah, there is a big message here of change, but it's not, if you're familiar with tarot, it's not like tarot, it's not the Tower card change. It's not like change is being forced on you. You're being encouraged to do this kind of for your own good. So find the joy in it for yourself. Find the joy in it. You're ready. You're ready. Even if you don't think you are. And you'll be good at it, whatever this change is. Okay. So then we have the Seven of Swords. Let me hear what Spirit wants to say. They're telling me that your boss is a little bit afraid that you want to break free, that the changes that are happening around you, or that things have just gotten stale for you, are causing you to look elsewhere. Look elsewhere. They do actually want to shake you up a little bit. They don't want you to take these fears and sort of run away or hide or give up or go to another job or even keep it to yourself, you know. Share your concerns with your boss a little bit because they want you to succeed. And they can help alleviate your fears if you express them. You know, if you can express them calmly and rationally. You know, if you just say, oh, I can't do it, it's too much. Go into some more detail there. Go into some more detail because they want to understand. They genuinely want to understand what's blocking you, what's stopping you, what's preventing you from, you know, breaking through the door really that's in front of you. They don't really know how to help you at this point. At least for some of you, your boss is curious about what's holding you back and they're trying to motivate you. They're trying to encourage you, but they haven't quite figured out the secret recipe to that yet. You can help them by talking to them about your fears. You know, if that's reasonable for you, you know, you have to take your situation in mind. Obviously, if you work for yourself, it's a little bit different situation. It's maybe sitting down and writing down to yourself, these are my fears. This is what I'm afraid of. And then consider whether those are just fears that your brain is growing into something much bigger than reality. So the advice from Spirit is the 5 of Pentacles. And they're telling me don't go it alone. There's no reason for you to go it alone. If there's something you're worried about, if there's something you don't feel like you can do, speak up. Speak up. Whether it is, you know, having a tough conversation with yourself or your higher self even, with your boss, if you have clients and they're pushing you to do something, you know, I know with clients you have to trust your relationship with them, but have a conversation about it if you can. But don't go it alone. If you need to seek help from a mentor or you know, from a coach of some kind, get support from a friend or a coworker or your boss. You're being encouraged to seek that help, to express with true honesty what you're feeling, what your hesitations are. But before you express them, make sure you know yourself what they are. Otherwise, you end up just coming from a place of fear rather than a place of clarity. So really kind of think about, what am I afraid of? Why am I hesitating? Where can I take this, you know, that will feel good for me? Where can I take this that will help me grow and have me excited about my work again? And then ask for help. You know, get the support you need from someone. If you ask for it, you'll get it. That's what Spirit's saying. All right, group 3, I hope that helps. I hope it kind of alleviates maybe some of your fears, gives you a little insight into what your boss is thinking and what they really kind of know about what's going on. And hopefully it helps you move forward. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If the reading resonated, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It's free for you, but it really helps me. And it also helps other people find these readings so they can get the messages that are meant for them. So thank you so much. And thank you for your comments. I do read them all. And I'm grateful for you. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.